Being a celebrity is incredibly romanticized. I mean, why wouldn't it be? They are the most beautiful, talented people everybody knows with the most money and opportunities. They get notoriety, winning the most respected awards, having access to the best dermatologists, plastic surgeons, dietitians, and trainers with millions of supporting fans. We as normal people look to celebrities for inspiration by emulating their style and way of life. It seems that, especially in this time and day, people are desperate for an escape. Every part of a celebrity's life is escapism. Therefore, being famous can be quite alluring. It feels like everyone and their mom are trying to build their brand on social media, trying to get viral, get sponsored, and get PR. The internet has increased the visibility of fame and access to the lives of countless celebrities. Being famous is seen as achieving success. According to a survey done by the Washington Post and Harvard, 31% of American teenagers think that they will be famous one day. There are many downsides of being a celebrity that people don't necessarily see because their lifestyle is so glamorized. The culture of celebrity obsession feeds on itself, so the more media consumed about celebrities, the more it's created because of that profitability and vice versa. If you want to get work as an artist, whether you're an actor, model, whatever, you have to work in either LA or New York. And LA culture is all about the way that you look, who you are, and how much influence you have. I grew up in SoCal, so I know that LA is the capital of glamorizing attention, fame, and validation. I'm sure it's probably difficult finding close relationships, people you can feel like you can trust, like if you're famous. You don't know if they're using you for your fame, money, or connections. Everyone just tells you what you want to hear. People start not seeing you as a person, but as an opportunity. They're always gonna want something from you. The reality of being a celebrity is being constantly busy, where you don't have a lot of time for friends if you want to take advantage of your opportunities. And not to mention the isolation. When you're famous and booked for a role, you're going to feel a lot of stress and pressure in every performance that you do. Especially being put in movies and roles that don't fit you. Maybe the writing is bad, or it's a rerun or remake. It makes you a much easier target to hate on if you're a part of that. And if you let the pressure get to you and screw up, your reputation is on the line. You have people counting on you. If you make yourself look bad, everyone online will laugh at you and all at your expense. It's your face on the project, literally. When you get all these opportunities, I'm sure it's hard to say no. Or if you're best known for one role and suddenly people don't see you in other hit films, then you're irrelevant. If you're a famous artist or musician, imagine constantly being pestered about when's the next album coming out, and feeling pressured to put something out sooner, then getting comments saying it sounds like you rushed it, or you fell off when you don't make a hit album. It feels like being famous tramples over the craft, whether it is, acting, singing, whatever you may do. Celebrities have this feeling of being untouchable, so naturally, people online feel like they can say the most horrific, unfiltered shit. You're subjected to all these opinions on every aspect of your being. Celebrities are put in a position where everybody expects them to be perfect. When they slip up or make a small mistake, even after apologizing, millions of people will still hate and criticize them relentlessly. There is a major lack of sympathy for celebrities. We don't even see them as people. As a society, we act like if you're rich, you have everything and can't complain about anything else and therefore shouldn't be allowed to have any sympathy. People don't see themselves as having much power as an individual, so they feel like they're punching up, when together they can be quite destructive. Especially being born in a famous family, every opportunity you take, you will be criticized for being a nepo baby, therefore being judged more harshly, which, isn't really your fault. Not to mention that you don't get a choice and you will never feel the freedom of being normal. And if you dare to be yourself, they'll tell you that you need media training to shut the fuck up and be like everybody else. They also expect you to be an activist for every known cause, even if you worked hard to get into the industry, to share your art, suddenly you have a platform and should use it. Sure, you technically have, freedom of speech. That is until people don't like or agree with the way you choose to use it. Everything you say can be misconstrued, and people will turn their backs on you in an instant. Therefore, celebrities stay silent in fear of being criticized, losing their voice entirely. Once you're tired of being famous, you can't just, decide it's not for you and quit. It doesn't work like that. Now, the point isn't to be you should feel bad for celebrities. It's more of a bro, trust me, your life isn't worse. The grass isn't always greener. When I took a theater class in middle school, I have wanted to be an actor ever since then, and I had dreamed of winning awards and all that shit. But now that I see, the reality of being a celebrity, I would much rather have a small audience that, supports me creating and releasing art. That's fulfilling to me. Everyone you're talking to or dating is heavily publicized. Imagine every relationship you've ever had being actively tracked. Everything about your life will be speculated, dissected, and broadcast. Breakups are devastating even as a normal person. So, imagine right after breaking up, you have to see how quickly they've moved on. It's all throughout every article because everything is public knowledge. Being famous is like being a prisoner. You are followed everywhere. You can't go anywhere or do any of what you used to. You don't have privacy anymore. Who even knows if you'll ever have a normal life again? Paparazzi will purposely fuck with celebrities to get a reaction and act offended when they give one. And if you retaliate in anger, they'll call up a lawyer to happily sue you for whatever they can get.
It's money. You don't care about people. Only money. Only money. No people. You don't care about human beings. No, it's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
We're on the sidewalk.
I don't give a if you're on the sidewalk. I'm a human being. You think I'm a real guy, do you? You're gonna take this video out of context. You're gonna say I'm mad. I don't know who the paying you to provoke me, but I'm not the one.
Nobody's paying me.
Stop provoking me. I'm a real dad, a real husband, a real man.
In Bryan Cranston's book, A Life in Parts, he talks about his experience being famous. If he's not working, that means he's stepping outside his apartment, walking down the street and being stared at and pointed to. He says, I think of the Alzheimer's ward, where my mother spent her final years. You have your gardens and your walking path and your illusion to freedom. You're not really free. Since I've become famous, my personality has changed. I tend to leave the house less. Being a celebrity, you are going to be constantly scrutinized with unfair body expectations on every aspect of your body, especially as a woman. They'll pick you apart. The public loves to pin celebrities against each other, also, especially women, comparing every part of them. The way you look will always be talked about. You'll likely feel pushed to get plastic surgery to look perfect and end up looking like everybody else. Or worse, you could get botched. The more work you get done, the less you have your naturally beautiful, unique features, and the more you blend in. God forbid you age naturally. Imagine being a celebrity, seeing your body being ridiculed just for simply existing. Let's say you've been insecure, maybe you're depressed, and you finally get the courage to leave the house. As soon as you step outside, there are paparazzi vultures all around you, desperate to document every unflattering angle of your body. And then the next thing you know, there's article after article mocking you, talking about how unrecognizable you look after gaining weight. Wow. DIY eating disorder. I mean, honestly, you could name any female celebrity and chances are they've been publicly body shamed. In this article, the author talks about how we don't see people as being inspired by science or history, but by celebrities. You can see how influencers try to replicate celebrity life through renting fake private jets for photo shoots, renting designer bags, or, just like the whole lifestyle. As a celebrity, you have a huge influence regardless of whether you wanted to be a role model or not, and you have to be careful because whatever you do, people will replicate it as though you're advertising for it. It's a major responsibility that you didn't ask for. Now, okay, the Kardashians have had a major influence on the beauty standard, which really is only achieved by plastic surgery. They're responsible for all of this, which is not necessarily their fault, but it is no doubt the result of their influence. Does that make sense?
I've had to have my husband help. I've had to have friends help. I've had to even have my daughter help at times. It's not funny. Push as hard as you can. Push it out. Okay. I've had times where my butt implant was actually, sticking out.
Remember when Kate Moss said, "Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels"? I'm just kidding. You didn't forget. You know that quote. I seriously, wonder how many people have starved themselves to death. After hearing that, how many still are and how many will continue to do so? Because she fucking said that. Being a famous figure, everyone has their eye on you. Many celebrities' addresses are leaked on public sites with photos. If anyone's gonna be the victim of stalkers, it's them. Stalker Sarah, now I'm putting that in quotes because I think it's kind of mean, has collected almost 6,200 selfies with celebrities, which she has posted online since she was 12. Her dad had told her that if she got straight A's, he would take her to as many events as he possibly could, which is fucking insane to me. Damn. She has met Justin Bieber over 100 times. Being addicted to celebrity culture almost feels like a mental illness within itself, because there is no telling what people will do to access it. In this article, 11 Reasons Not to Become Famous, Tim Ferriss talks about the downsides of fame. For context, he is an author best known for this book, and he had a fan who consistently left helpful, kind comments on his vlogs, someone he frequently interacted with. Anyways, this fan eventually sent him a video thanking him for getting him through the darkest times in his life, and said that he had to end it. After the video, he took his own life. It made me think of how strong parasocial relationships can be between celebrities and fans. Tim talks about his initial desperation for being famous and the reality of being known. He's a lesser known, celebrity, and even he has experienced stalkers, getting death threats, his inner circle getting harassed, difficulty dating, extortion attempts, being a target for desperate interactions, and having people pretend to want to get to know him just to use him. So you can only imagine what well-known celebrities have to go through every single day. As a celebrity, you are also more likely to fall victim to impersonation and identity theft. The more well-known you are, the more likely you are to be targeted for kidnapping.
I don't give a if you think it's selfish of me to say no for a photo or for your time or for a hug.
On TikTok, she reveals she is being harassed and shares that her family have been stalked, bullied online, and even shouted at from passing cars.
I don't care that this crazy type of behavior comes along with the job.
This is the time when I was, a few years ago, that I said if stalker vibes, family was in danger, is when I would quit. And, we're there.
Too, same.
We're there.
In this podcast, they comment on how there is no difference between watching Chappell Roan on TikTok getting ready for a show and FaceTiming a friend. For some people, this is their social interaction. It's like being able to talk to your favorite person without having to use the energy to respond. These types of interactions will only strengthen parasocial relationships, which can result in people doing whatever they can to get their favorite celebrity's attention. And it's not logical to just think that celebrities can get 24/7 security. Fans will also use whatever connection they may have to a celebrity to benefit themselves. Like, for example, there was a fan who got famous because she was doing her makeup to look like Ariana Grande. At first, it seemed, like innocent. She was only inspired by Ariana Grande's style, right? That is until she used it to her advantage to make an OnlyFans. Paige Newman now cosplays to look like Ariana Grande while selling her body on a porn site. This is something Ariana Grande has no control over. Oh my god, it also reminded me how there's deep fake porn videos that exist using celebrities' faces. The fallback for refusing people is deeply gendered. Women are expected to be loving and giving, so when a male celebrity draws a boundary, there is naturally more respect for that. Okay, so for example, here's this article. The tweets shown are predominantly Republicans who have, instead of coming up with a rebuttal against her claims, have taken shots at her personally. It made me wonder if people's sexism towards women is being disguised as criticism. Not only is she being personally attacked, fans are burning their CDs and selling off their merch. It's clear that people will project their identities and values onto the celebrities they support. Therefore, when they come to find out that the celebrities they support feel differently, they feel personally attacked. I think whenever it comes to what celebrities support, their opinion will always be taken into the extreme, regardless of what audience. I feel like if you experience fame at an early age, you are more likely to be arrogant, but also insecure at the same time. So I went to a performing arts high school, and I went with this guy who was a successful child actor. I remember him telling me and my friends, hey, I'm up here, you guys are down here. Unwarranted. I feel like if you were actually confident, you wouldn't feel the need to, say all that. Don't worry, though, because I was your show's getting canceled anyway. Children who grow up under the spotlight are known to struggle with their identity. You are rewarded for behaving exactly as they tell you, so naturally, you're likely to lose yourself in the process. It's hard to differentiate between the character they're playing and themselves.
Pansy weren't right for me, claims that I'm a cheat, found me in the library, half naked with Hermione. Tried to tell her we were working on a spell together, my one works better whenever she takes her dress off.
And we can see this in JoJo Siwa. She is her own brand and has been for most of her life. It's obvious that she's been told what to do all of her life and that she doesn't know herself or what she wants. You can see in her interviews how she comes off as very socially unaware.
I am shook about your look. Tell me about
really strange tan lines. It's really strange. What do you want to know about it? No one has made in my generation this extreme of a switch, and I am the first in the generation. It is very scary, but someone's got to do it.
As soon as you learn to talk, here you are jumping into the workforce as a child into a full-time job with the pressure of what an adult actor would feel. It's an industry that demands maturity, so you have no choice but to grow up. It reminds me of child labor in the factories. It's just a different type of work. I worked as a background actor in LA for a year, which I definitely liked, but it's demanding work with long hours, and I didn't even have any lines. In this industry, personal needs come second, which can be very damaging to children. Parents can become blindsided when they start to rely on their child for money. There is a heavy responsibility on children who are providing for their family. These children are dealing with everything I mentioned, but it's intensified because they're starting out young and impressionable, basically seen as a gold mine by every adult in their life. Child stars are likely to be exploited by the same people who were supposed to be looking out for them, which can make them feel like there is no safe person to protect them. It can be shocking to see them spiral and be self-destructive as they get older, But when you look at how they were raised, like, it's not surprising at all. Celebrities who started out as child actors in media targeted for families will always be held to this family-friendly standard. It doesn't matter if you're legally an adult. People assume that if you made content for children once in your life, you should always cater towards the kids watching. Fame is horrible for people. Being famous makes it incredibly easy to satisfy any and all addictions you might have, whether it be to drugs, sex, attention, plastic surgery, or fucking anything. Being able to have it all is not a good thing. In this article, the author talks about how fame closely mirrors substance abuse symptoms, and eventually can lead to actual substance abuse, isolation, lack of trust, and very often death. Research shows that fame changes a person's life forever. While celebrities experience many negative effects, they are very likely to get addicted to the benefits of being famous, therefore trying to chase what might be ruining their life. The benefits of being a celebrity are clear, but you cannot opt out of the stuff that sucks. Now, I'm not trying to act like we should feel bad for celebrities or to praise them for doing the bare minimum. What I'm trying to say is that it's not a bad thing to be unknown. People in this industry act like if they've never heard of you, then you're not successful enough. That's not true. You can be successful without being famous. In fact, I prefer it. Like, I love being irrelevant. Like, honestly. It's so nice blending into the crowd, like being able to live your life how you want without getting bugged or harassed.